to another episode of Hard Factor, presented by the Barstool News Network. It is Monday, June 22nd, and what a weekend. Guys, what'd you do this weekend? I didn't do much. I just recuperated from last week. What'd you fellas do?
Nothing. I would say nothing. I thought you went to a bar or something, Will.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I did do that. I did try out my, it was like a cathartic moment. I ate a sandwich at a bar, socially distanced from everybody, but I heard people at the bar arguing about sports, and that was like, that was something else. That really took me back. So.
Oh yeah, that'll take you right back. Love that.
What'd you do, Pat? I did absolutely nothing. I mean, I might as well have not had it.
I traveled. I'm at the
traveled again.
Oh, that's right. Nice photos of the Charlotte airport.
Yeah, doing the show live from the beach.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice. Those antibody tests will probably come back positive next time. I know you're chasing them, so hopefully you get them this time.
Trying to get them. Yep. Same thing as every other human in the country.
Yeah. All right. Well, we've got all the top stories today. We've also got radio coming up at 11 Eastern, so make sure you sign up for Sirius XM Radio on top of listening to the podcast. Mark, get us going.
All right, guys, big events weekend this weekend. I might have done absolutely nothing this weekend and should have just skipped it. But not a lot of people did what I did. A lot of people did stuff. There was a UFC event. There was a NASCAR race at Talladega Superspeedway in Alabama. It got postponed due to weather. It's going to be today. But that didn't stop protesters of, I don't know what, I guess, anti-racism from driving around in cars with the Confederate flags and a plane from flying above the track with a banner of the Confederate flag that said defund NASCAR. That's fun. There was also something going on in the Chaz that led to a shooting. So there was an event there. Probably more on that later. Wild weekend indeed. But maybe the biggest event of them all, guys. There was a Trump rally in Oklahoma this weekend. Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
First one since March.
I tried to ignore it, and then I woke up Sunday morning, and it was just nothing but Trump rally posts. Did you guys try to go? Is that where you went, Pat? When you said beach, did you mean a sea of Trump supporters?
Yeah, I went to Tulsa.
Okay.
As someone that's flown to Tulsa before, I can tell you it's not easy to fly to Tulsa. So
okay.
Good on you in thinking that I definitely may have connected somewhere, because there's literally, I don't know how this is possible, but not one direct flight to Tulsa from any airport anywhere in America.
That sucks for people that
seems impossible since
you think no, it's true.
Sucks.
It's true.
Okay. Well, more than 1 million people RSVP'd for the Trump rally, which was going to cause issues since the BOK Center in Tulsa only sits 19,000 at capacity. So a bit of an overflow there. But that's okay. That's okay, guys. As outdoor standing room only overflow areas were set up just for that reason, so that everyone could take in the Trump speech in close proximity to the president. State officials even expected well over 100,000 people to attend in person, so Trump staffers worked tirelessly day and night to set up the venue, bracing for a tsunami of red hats, some of which had been camping out for days. In fact, at least 6 staffers ended up contracting COVID-19, and I got to assume working so hard had something to do with it. Stress and being tired as fuck always fucks with your body.
Yeah.
Remember that.
Thinking that they had to camp out for all the people that didn't come.
Exactly. So they got sick. They worked themselves sick. Hopefully there's a speedy recovery for them. Hopefully they're all young and healthy. And, as everyone that's contracting COVID, which we'll get to more on the radio later today and maybe this podcast this week. Yeah, there's a lot of COVID stuff going on. But Trump and Pence were even going to address the tens of thousands of people at the overflow area, but they didn't because 100 stinky protesters of Trump got in the way. And also only 6,500 people showed up in total to the event. So that's another reason why they didn't address the people.
Mark, are you going to go over why it was so few?
I am. So it wasn't quite 1 million. It wasn't quite over 100,000 persons.
Right. The million that confirmed was
that's
the
6,200 tickets scanned inside the 19,000 arena, which you'll see a lot of empty seats. In promoting the event, Trump said, "We've never had an empty seat at a rally, and we certainly won't in Oklahoma." They had over 10,000 empty seats in a 19,000 seat arena. What happened is, I guess, TikTokers, in particular the gay TikTok community and the K-pop or Korean pop community, trolled the living shit out of the Trump administration.
Crushed them.
By spam signing up to RSVP for this event with fake names and numbers, upwards of almost 1 million fake RSVPs from people that had no intentions of ever going to the rally. They were just fucking with the Trump administration.
Amazing Trump.
Were they fake numbers, or they were the people's actual real numbers?
Oh, I'm not sure. because one of the arguments from the Trump campaign manager, who is Brad Parscale, says that they go through and verify that all the phone numbers are real, Pat, and that they weeded out tens of thousands of fake ones, but they still were bracing for 25 times the turnout they got. So I don't know who to believe.
That's amazing. That's amazing. The fake out million reservations is just an amazing troll. Pretty
funny. What are your thoughts, Pat?
Oh, I mean, I love it. Well, I think it's genius. You don't really see this happen. We haven't seen this happen yet, right? This is the boomers coming into direct interaction with the Zoomers, and tragedy would be had. As someone who's been in a venue performing to two people in like a 2,000 person venue, it hurts. It hurts real bad.
It was 6,000 and it was 6,000 and 20,000. And also that whole thing, Pat, like the emptiness. So all of the Dem big Twitter handles, just all night was just like, oh, look how empty it is. It's so empty. But then when I woke up on Sunday morning, I was just ignoring it on Twitter Saturday night. It was like a Trump campaign ad. So I think that the ultra attention that everybody paid to his rally was almost like free publicity in this situation.
Right. I think first off, if you don't think this is funny, you have a giant load of poop in your pants.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Yeah.
It's fucking hilarious, regardless of what your personal politics are. It's also good in my opinion. I'm glad there weren't over 100,000 people in a close proximity and over 20,000 people indoors because less people got COVID. And I know that, some people argue the protesters ended kind of people going outside, not really caring.
Derek Chauvin ended the.
Derek Chauvin pretty much killed 50,000 people, not just one.
Ended the COVID lockdown.
But
basically.
That doesn't mean. I mean, people going out for their cause. That's one thing. But unnecessarily filling up arenas just for like a rally is, I think, a different thing that we don't really need right now with all the COVID.
There you go. He got a brute force hacked out of it, basically.
Yeah. So Brad Parscale, Trump's campaign manager, said leftists and online trolls are doing a victory lap, thinking they somehow impacted rally attendance. Don't know what they're talking about or how our rallies work. The fact is that a week's worth of fake news, media warnings, people warning people away from the rally because of COVID, and protesters coupled with recent images of American cities on fire is the real reason people didn't show up to the rally. So.
Right, but why did a million confirm? Like that's the party's not addressing. So.
Yeah, they got had.
Most humans were looking, being like, what? Do I want to be in a stadium right now?
Yeah,
no.
They probably should have realized it when they were getting record numbers of confirmations that it was.
Another shitty part about this is funny. I don't think this should become a norm because it's a slippery slope. Some people are mentioning, if it is K people in Korea, it's kind of like interfering with politics. I don't know about all that, but it is a slippery slope if they start doing this. And another bad thing is there were violence amongst the protesters and the police. There was violence amongst the protesters and Trump supporters, and that shit all sucks. That part of all of that is going to continue. Unfortunately, that sucks. But just the gag in and of itself of a million RSVPs is fucking funny. That's all I got on that one.
All right. Well, before we move on, talk about the coronavirus that Mark mentioned there. Nice foreshadowing. We need to talk a little bit about predicted. And we got to remind you that this presidential race that we were just talking about is still nearly a coin flip on predicted. Trump is slightly positive odds, 44 cents. Biden slightly negative odds, 57 cents. But for all intents and purposes, you're close to a double up on each of these guys right now, which is a great time to bet. Basically, no matter who you're taking, you're getting pretty good return. So if we were buying today, fellas, who would you take?
Today, Biden. Are you kidding?
Mm-hmm.
Today, if the vote was today,
Biden.
Yeah.
Buying today, I'd probably take Biden at 57 cents, but I'll let you know that I'm letting my Trump shares ride at the 49-cent average that I bought them at nonetheless. So that shows you how
I think that's good. It's a long time from November. I mean, I think the bottom line is 44 cents, maybe 42 cents is probably the lowest it's going to go for Trump. So now's a good time to buy if you have a feeling he's going to repeat.
Yeah. Or if you think that the polls are going to get so out of hand that Biden's going to be like in the 80s, prior to
I don't
the
think
actual
so.
election.
I don't think that'll ever happen because of the way the electoral college is. The general pop is one thing, but I don't think he'll ever get to like 80-20 unpredicted.
Well, yeah, you never know. But if you do think he's going to explode, good time to get in on him, too. Go to
I'm
predicted.org.
going to explode.
You think so? Yeah, maybe so. I think his brain may explode. Go to predicted.org/promo/hardfactor20 to get your first $20 matched on us in the stock market of politics. All right. Now we need to talk about coronavirus like I was talking about. Where, if you're watching us at youtube.com/hardfactornews, which you should be, or on the Barstool blog, either way, watch the video podcast, you can see I've got the lockdown turn up tee back on. And that's because coronavirus is pretty much back. It's spreading.
It's back.
It's spreading pretty much everywhere. Not just here, not just in this country, in the USA, worldwide, going crazy. Particularly in the USA, though, in the South and the West, where the lockdown measures were reduced sooner, and testing capacity has also drastically increased at the same time in recent weeks. So we're seeing spikes in Texas, California, Florida, Georgia, both of the Carolinas, Arizona, Louisiana, Tennessee, Utah, Arkansas, Nevada, Oklahoma, Idaho, Montana. LSU football has at least 30 players in coronavirus quarantine after an outbreak on the team. And the Clemson team has at least as many, almost as many confirmed cases.
The two best teams, Clemson has 21 confirmed. The national championship game.
Yeah. Yep. So sadly, college football getting back on time, off to a bad start there. Not good.
You hear that, Mark?
No, I'm fucked. I'm so fucked. This weekend, I was like, well, I'm glad I lowered it from 100 to 50. I shouldn't have taken that bet. I've been a coronavirus stand since before day one. I don't know why I took that bet.
Bad for Mark. Also bad for you, Pat. Don't know if you heard that. Both the Carolinas having outbreaks. That was where you just were, right?
I was in the airport. It's kind of like an autonomous zone.
Right. So you were in a concentration of Carolinians.
You said it was at capacity.
But it's not. It's not really technically North Carolina or South Carolina. It's
Charlotte, North Carolina. Yeah.
No, but the airport through security, it's pretty much a different area. It's like.
Yeah. Okay. So how much of this is actually a second spike or a new wave, or how much of it is just the increased access to testing? It's probably like 50-50, honestly. You can get like a drive-through test in minutes now, most places, which is great, but also means that you're going to detect way more coronavirus. But also coronavirus is booming, not just here where we have more testing, but worldwide. Brazil is cranking out new cases. There was 183,000 new cases worldwide in 24 hours over the weekend. In Italy, the Orange Vests, which is a new European hilarious protest led by retired General Antonio Paparaldo, who doesn't believe that children should be made to wear masks. That's the Orange Vest protest.
He loves their little mouths.
Yeah.
Like, why?
I want to see their little smiles.
They have smiles. So nice.
It's so happy face, yeah.
Exactly. He also believes adults shouldn't wear them because he ripped his mask off in Rome with thousands of other Orange Vest protesters saying, these lungs are mine. I will take care of my lungs. Breathing is a sacred. So I just continue to be careful by washing your hands and avoiding. That's just me. Breathing is sacred is where he is.
Breathing is sacred.
Breathing is sacred is the dumbest thing anyone's ever said.
Unfortunately, I just think people don't really give a fuck anymore. Pat, how's the beach? Are people giving a fuck at the beach?
I'll be real honest, guys. I'm one of the only people down here giving a fuck.
That's what I thought. I mean, obviously, again, protests for a great cause, long overdue. Protests mostly not giving a fuck. The anti-protest before that, the militia protests, the people going to restaurants, not giving a fuck. The people at the beach, not giving a fuck. The people at Memorial Day parties, not giving a fuck. No one gives – people just didn't give a fuck for like the last 4.5, 5 weeks.
I'll put it this way. Boom. I'm staying at a house on the bay, like in the ship channel, and I see maybe every 10 minutes a gigantic party barge goes by packed to the gills with humans. No masks.
People stopped giving a fuck. Unfortunately, the weather didn't – the hot weather didn't fuck it up.
Now, the weather doesn't help at all. We've learned that. Because Brazil is just going nuts. So anyways, I got just be careful. Keep washing your hands. Avoid crowded areas without a mask.
Be careful, guys. Wash your hands.
Yeah. And then also know that if you get it and you're young and you're healthy, you're probably going to be okay. Just don't give it to grandma or grandpa because the mortality rate's extremely low. The stock market's beginning to tick down as fears of a second lockdown encroach. I know people are going to say this is fucked up, but I think at this point, you really need to be more careful and you need to be locked down if you're elderly or you're vulnerable because everybody else, like Mark said, is going to continue to not give a fuck from now on.
Or if you live with elderly or need to see elderly for work or something like that. Unfortunately for you, you have to be cautious because you can only control yourself and your surroundings, right? You can't control everyone.
And like for reference, Sweden, where there was never any lockdown, they have a similar infection rate to the U.S. So basically, like we locked down and we flattened the curve, but it didn't really do anything besides flatten the curve. We're still going to have a huge spread across the entire population. The vaccine's the only way to get rid of it for good.
Come on, vaccine. Yeah, come on, vaccine.
Yeah, but you're going to have to deal with it until then. So go to the Barstool store if you want to get a lockdown turn-up tea to support Meals on Wheels to help get food to the vulnerable who may be stuck at home for a little bit longer now. Or if you want a free Joe Exotic, we've got that shirt as well. Or if you need the new Hard Factor logo tee, all solid choices, Barstool store.
Yeah, absolutely. They also have the face sleeve masks too. We'll try to get some of those up there, but they already exist. I bought 2 Barstool ones of those.
Yeah,
so
pretty stylish.
Yeah, I agree. Let's kick it over to the country of India real quick and talk about a fun one. So monkeys, right? Everyone loves them. They're really strong. We've heard stories of chimpanzees ripping people's faces off. We've obviously heard stories of gorillas potentially threatening children who fall into their enclosure.
Yeah, R.I.P.
That was in Cleveland, though, right?
Yeah,
around there. Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Cincinnati.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, in India, a lot of monkeys, and one monkey likes to party, and that does not bode well for the people of India, because a drunk monkey named Kalua, which, come on.
That's awesome. Yeah.
We knew he was going to be drinking.
Asking for it, huh?
Yeah, was able to tear through 250 people and kill one while on
Holy
a rampage
shit.
in India. Yeah.
How big was this monkey?
Not big.
Just angry.
Just a normal angry monkey.
How did it get through 250 people?
It was over a long period of time. See, the monkey belonged to an occultist in the Mirzapur, Uttar Pradesh area, whom local authorities believe got his pet drunk, essentially, would give his monkey a regular diet of hard liquor and possibly monkey meat.
Cannibal and drunk. Wow.
Yeah, drunk cannibal. Not a great combo. And the owner died, which, we knew was going to happen.
Was it by the monkey?
No, it wasn't by the monkey.
The one death.
Yeah.
That would actually been poetic justice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This guy deserved to have been killed by that monkey he was feeding booze to.
Right. So anyway, the monkey was, neglected and likely in the throes of withdrawal, took his aggression out on the streets and began roaming the neighborhood that he lived in and attacking people, particularly in the faces, and particularly women and children. That was his That was his preferred victim. Yeah, not good. Anyway, they caught him, so that's good. And now
did he disfigure 250 faces?
I mean, I don't know. He heard.
It sounds like it.
Yeah,
he heard. Terrible monkey.
It sounds like he was wearing a necklace of teeth and eyeballs by the end of it.
He's a bad boy, and he'll be spending the rest of his life behind bars because he got.
Well, they must have killed the monkey on sight, right?
No. He's alive and he's in jail in a zoo, the Kanpur Zoological Park, and they were charged with reassimilating the monkey and trying to rehab him a little bit. So for the last 3 years,
that's amazing. They'll kill a tiger, for just attacking somebody once, but they're going to let this monkey walk.
They put a ticking time bomb in the zoo. It's any day now.
Unbelievable.
Any day now he's getting out of that zoo.
Well, guys, he's been in solitary confinement and will be for the rest of his life. And one of the zookeepers says there's been absolutely no change in the last 3 years in his behavior.
He's still mad. He's still mad.
He remains as aggressive as he was. Yeah, that's that story.
Holy shit. They should definitely just have women and children put their faces behind a protective glass and just fuck with them. Okay.
I'm sure they do that. I'm sure.
Have you guys ever thought this $1 bill I have or this loose change in my center console is not even worth giving to the homeless man begging on the corner. It's insulting to offer this man soliciting for my hard-earned money $1 only. Right? No, you've never thought that.
I think change is okay for people asking for change.
Okay.
I don't mess with change unless they have a receptacle, but $1,
right, like a single dollar bill, right?
That's fine.
Neither did a 66-year-old woman in Ewing, New Jersey. Problem is the piece of shit begging for the money, 31-year-old Tomas Dymek of Queens, was insulted by the paltry amount of $1 he was handed at a CVS parking lot by the woman. And so he decided to teach her a lesson by jacking her car.
Yeah, don't give him a shitty handout like that.
Yeah, he said, "What the fuck is this? This is it." And then he got in the car. He got in the car while she was still in the driver's seat, and then he took off. So he pinned the woman to her seat. She could not reach the gas or brakes, and she was probably just screaming as Dimech went on a joyride that quickly turned into a high-speed police chase.
He was sitting on her.
He was sitting on top of her and driving the car on top of her.
He was treating her like the furniture in Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Exactly.
You know, right.
Exactly. That's
She was
exactly
like
right.
a human chair.
Yes, and probably laughing as maniacally as Pee-wee is when he's doing that.
That's gotta be fucking terrifying if you're that lady.
Yeah, the chase started in New Jersey and ended in Philadelphia, so it
At
wasn't
least he was
exactly
probably
a short chase.
Probably thin though, because he's homeless, not eating.
He
a
was.
lot.
I saw the picture. He didn't
Yeah, at
crush
least he's not a
her.
fat guy. Yeah.
It's true. It's true. Several drivers on the highway alerted the police to the bizarre scene as they probably saw a 66-year-old woman's arms flailing, and then a 30-year-old
Also, she was
homeless guy
screaming,
on
"He
top of her."
smells like cigarettes and piss."
Yeah, so they saw, he looked like Goro. He had the driver had 4 arms. The vehicle.
Mortal
I
Kombat
guess,
drop there.
Yeah. The vehicle eventually became disabled near Lincoln Highway in Pennsylvania. It's not super clear what that means, but it doesn't sound like on the articles I read that they like spiked the tires or pitted the car. So I'm going to assume that the lady had like some sort of OnStar thing, and like it was.
You're gonna assume she used her foot and then pressed the brake, maybe?
I think it was like the scene in Horrible Bosses because she couldn't reach the gas. I think it's like when the OnStar like stops the car itself, like the.
Oh, like it was a smart car.
Someone hacks into the car, right, and stops the car. I think that's what happened. Either way, once the car was disabled, Dimech fled on foot.
She probably shit herself. Is probably what happened.
And he just stopped the car.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, probably, or she peed herself. I was thinking he smelled like pee. Maybe
Yeah, you don't want geriatric urine on you. Yeah, that's makes the carjacking a lot less fun.
Everyone shit themselves.
Because then also you're gonna have to, if you want to keep it, you're gonna have to clean that seat.
That's true. I will say this: he's arrested. She's totally fine. No serious injuries whatsoever. But I don't think she's going to stop and give the homeless man any more money ever again.
No, probably a wise move there on her part. When you have that kind of traumatic experience, you're not going to go back.
No
to the
good
well.
deed.
Yeah, and guys, you know what? Let's talk about nice things. Let's talk about gifts. Not the gift of shitting in your own pants, but the gift that I want to give my friends.
That gift keeps giving if you want it to.
Yeah, the perfect gift for, I would say, a podcast anniversary, which we just hit our 2-year anniversary. And I thought, what would be the great gift I could give my podcast host? Problem is, I'm a shitty gift giver. Luckily for me, though, I discovered paintyourlife.com. Notoriously. So paintyourlife.com, big helper for me here. I know one day when Pat stops traveling, we're going to get back in that Hard Factor studio, and I want to have a painting of the 4 of us hanging on the wall behind us when we do. When I heard that at paintyourlife.com, you could have an original painting by a world-class artist done by hand from a photo, I thought, what a great idea. It must be so expensive, though. Turns out it's actually quite affordable, fellas. Hey, it's on me. This one's on me, all right? At paintyourlife.com, you got a professional.
Hey, for real?
Yeah, for real.
You're committing to this?
That's right. Minus the $50 if I lose for the
That's fine.
stadium.
If I come down and visit, can I chop my part off and then bring it back to Reno?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
We can photocopy it for you, Will.
Yeah, why don't we just get you a copy?
I figure it was worth a try.
Okay. At paintyourlife.com, you get a professional hand-painted portrait created from any photo at a truly affordable price. Choose from a team of world-class artists and work with them until every detail is perfect. It's user-friendly platform lets you order a custom-made hand-painted portrait in less than 5 minutes, and it's true, it is very easy to use. It's like dummy-proof, trust me. It's quick and easy process. Get a hand-painted portrait in about 3 weeks. So right after Pat's quarantine, 3-ish weeks. Send any picture.
You acted like it's my fault it's not my fault.
You're the only one that keeps traveling. Send any picture of yourself.
You just don't want to leave your house.
Family, a special place. No, I don't. Not when people like you exist. A special place or a cherished pet or combined photos. You can do that too. It makes the perfect birthday, anniversary, or Father's Day gift. Shout out my parents. Happy 45th anniversary yesterday. These paintings truly are incredible. And you will be blown away with how beautiful they turn out. I'm telling you, at paintyourlife.com, there's no risk. If you don't love the final painting, your money is refunded, guaranteed. And right now, as a limited time offer, get 20% off your painting. That's huge. 20% off and free shipping.
That's
to get
a lot of
this
savings.
special offer, Judy, text the word, Judy was asking about this on Twitter, text the word factor to 64,000. That's factor to 64,000. Text Factor to 6400064,000. Paint your life. Celebrate the moments that matter most.
Yes, indeed. All right, moving on. We got to go to some sorrowful news really quick, fellas. Sadly, there's more violence to report from the sites of cities that are still under, constant protest and unrest. In Seattle and Minneapolis in particular. In Seattle, in the CHOP, 2 young men, that's the, Capitol Hill organized protest where the cops, they can't get in very easily. It was autonomous. Now it's not autonomous, but still kind of. 2 young men were shot early Saturday morning before being taken to the hospital by medics from within the CHOP, one of whom was a 19-year-old kid, and he died. And the other one is still in the hospital, I guess. Hopefully he survives. Of course, the protesters are blaming the cops for not helping quick enough. Meanwhile, the cops are saying that violent crowds prevented them from assisting the victims and that their access inside the CHOP is severely limited. Detectives all say that the shooters are still at large in that situation. So,
do they have any suspects for the shooters?
I think there was. Obviously there was witnesses, but I'm not sure if there's suspects.
This is a sad story. I don't mean to make light of it, but did you say the protesters in CHOP are mad at the cops' response time?
Raz Simone particularly posted, that the cops did not help them quick enough.
Okay, that's ridiculous.
So it's obviously that's a lightning rod, right? So
yeah, that's ridiculous.
Because it did start that was an autonomous zone. Now it's not, and it's just Do you?
But they had said that police can come in for things like that. I think.
Well, right, but then the cops.
How the fuck do they know?
Still get there?
Yeah, no, that's ridiculous.
If someone calls and says murder, you show up, right?
Okay.
Well, right, but they can't get.
But the precinct that's inside the Chaz is shut down. So
and it's also
that's a good point.
It's also got cement barricades now, so you can't get a car in there. And then in Minneapolis, a shooting early Sunday morning left 1 man dead and 11 others injured, which is fucking crazy, and in the hospital. According to witnesses and police, there was at least 3 shooters in the incident, and all of them escaped from the scene. Nobody is in custody at this time, but it's just like fucking terrible that you could walk out of this is a place with like dinner, like restaurants and bars and shit. People probably just walking out in the street getting attacked. So thoughts and prayers to all the families impacted by those shootings in both those cities. Not good.
People are just pieces of shit.
Mama guys, let's take it to reviews and voicemails. Remember, if you give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, we'll read it on air. Let's get into it. Great show is the title of this one from Jake Rofo Show. Great pod. Yeah, rhymey. Says, great podcast. I love that not everything needs to be so PC and serious all the time. Kind of in line with how I see the world. Keep up the good work! !
Hey, there's one good guy right there.
There you go.
Sees the world the same.
Yeah, great program. J Tucky 92 says, awesome way to get the news in the morning with some hilarious moments along the way. Gentlemen, you are gems. Get these guys a full-time job.
Ooh, I like
that's
that
nice.
review.
What a glowing endorsement.
I'm gonna change the painting for Paint Your Life to that guy's review.
Yeah,
that would be a sweet painting.
Yeah,
this one's good. From Hate Mike, listen here. The age of hard factor is over. The time of the orc is now. Yeah. Your pod will bow to Morgoth, or you will face the might of Grond.
Oh no, he gronded us.
Grond, yeah, we did get trolled. So Grond was a troll. Nice.
Grond is a Lord of the Rings troll.
So it was, but we got it actually. So he thinks he's got us. Actually, we looked it up and found that battering ram was what he was referring to, and so we actually got it right. So no troll at all. Actually, thank you for the 5-star review, and appreciate you listening.
Yeah, someone explained that Grond is a troll, and I was like, what? It's like, dude, no, it's sweet. Talking about that hammer from Lord of the Rings. Troll me all day.
It was the battering ram that they used to get into the 2 towers or something.
Troll me all day.
Yeah, call us the Grond, and that sounds fine to me.
5-star Grond sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, this next one's from the Golden Broccoli, and it's titled, "Oh no, Will's gonna be a dad." No, it says it's good. It's Will. Congrats, man. You guys should set up a form and take in user-submitted name suggestions and read them on air.
That
idea.
Would you be willing to do that? I mean, you don't have to pick one of the names, but can you read?
We can definitely. We can absolutely read them. There's no chance that the listeners are picking. My wife would probably murder me.
Your wife gets final say, obviously, but I mean, she might be swayed if the name is so good.
Well, yeah, we could put some contenders in your ear. That's for sure.
Let's do that.
We could do that.
All right, guys, and finally, 5-star for life. We might have read this one last week. I'm not sure. Free 2-night Vegas bender or unlimited chips and queso for life. Sean from New Mexico.
Oh no! Between those two options?
So free 2-night Vegas bender. Or unlimited chips and queso for life.
For life.
So, yeah. So like someone's spending probably on the bender, you're getting a suite. That's $1,500 for the night. Plus, like, let's say another like let's say $2,000 spending money, plus another G for booze and food.
It's a lot. It's like a 10K weekend.
It's like the same amount as unlimited chips and queso for life. It's close.
That's why it's a good question.
If you utilize the same amount of money on chips and queso, you're going to die by 60. So it's about $5,000 each.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Vegas weekend simply because I don't trust myself with unlimited queso.
Vegas weekend for me too.
I'm also going Vegas weekend because I've never, ever, ever looked at my budget and said, I really got to cut back on this chips and queso spending I'm doing. I'm happy to pay for my own chips and queso. So.
I also don't want to explain to people, like brag about how I chose.
You chose queso
free chips and queso over it. Yeah.
No, like you could have had anything you wanted. A full free weekend, like that's Vegas. You can do whatever you want too.
Not for me. I'm just over here smashing chips and queso.
Yeah, sorry, can't come out tonight, guys. All right, let's get into voicemails.
Hey, what's up, Super Alpha Cash Daddy? This is Cade from Omaha. I got a quick question. So one of my coworkers, I work at a credit union, one of my coworkers, she's like 65, 66, diabetic. She doesn't think that coronavirus is real. She's been saying this ever since day one, quarantine, 2 year essential worker, so we had to be at work. How would you guys go about that? It makes me very upset. I'm a little fed up with her telling members and shit that it's fake, it's just the flu. Anyways, let me know, boys. Peace.
Okay. What do you guys think?
I mean, how do you deal with it? It sounds like this is a boss that is just totally dismissive of the coronavirus. I would probably show her the Google map, where there's a map that shows that there's like over 100,000 people that have died from it and how many cases and all that. Hire Bolsonaro, another good guy to highlight. You could be like, hey, this is an idiot that said it was fake and he got proven wrong. I don't know, but it seems like she's pretty stuck in her ways, so I doubt she's going to change her mind.
Yeah, it's a sensitive subject for me. I don't like being too preachy about COVID-19. I could see why people get annoyed with me on that. On the flip side, there's this woman, and I don't think it's, necessarily a great idea to try to find all the people that are deniers and, try to convince them. That's not really anyone's job. It is what it is.
Yeah, you
can only control it. You can only control your own stuff.
Call her a bitch behind her back, Cade.
There you go.
So. Yeah, I mean, Cade is probably has tried to point out news stories to her before, I'm guessing. So I doubt that will really change her.
It's not going to change her mind. Just wash your hands around her.
Yeah, or don't. There's another.
Yeah, or kill her.
This is John from Ohio, long-time listener. Great show. Love everything you guys are doing. But a quick question for you guys was, now that we're so far into quarantine, things are opening back up, sports are starting again. And movies are getting delayed left and right. So we're not having anything that apparently come out until next year. It's looking like, or at the very best, fall of this year, barring any setbacks. But so with that in mind, what would be your price point? $100, $150 is what I've rationalized to buy a movie, to skip the theaters and say, hey, let's just go straight to on demand for a blockbuster. In order for them to make their money back. What do you think would be a good price point for them to hit, or what you guys would be willing to pay?
Okay. Damn. Well, here's a guy that doesn't follow our individual Twitter handles, at Hard Factor Mark. at Hard Factor Pat, at Hard Factor Will, because I said the $19.99 price point for new movies is absolutely fucking absurd for digital movies. I think $9.99 is fair for a new movie.
I'm so willing to pay $19.99 on opening weekend and have no problem with it. I would go up $5 even. It's cheaper, and I understand where it's coming from.
You have not great TVs in your house. They're good, but they're not great. So if you had like an enormous TV, I could see.
How many TVs do you have in your house?
3.
Oh, how many do I have in mine?
I don't know, but what's your biggest TV?
7.
What's your biggest
what's
television?
your largest
What's
television?
your largest television is my point.
I believe a 72-inch.
No, not. I mean,
68, something like that, right there.
I don't think so. Maybe I'm looking at a different house. But if you have a 68 or 72-inch TV, $19.99 makes sense. If you have 55 or below,
55 is probably average for what.
That makes no sense.
yes, it makes total sense.
I think $15.99 a compromise between what
the
you
big
guys are
screen, Pat. The big screen. That's why it's called the big screen.
Experience. I know why it's called
okay.
the big screen because it's a large screen. But
Yes, correct.
I was very happy to watch King of Staten Island for $19.99. Didn't care. I enjoyed being able to watch it in my home. Watched it twice.
You know what? It would have been better in the theaters. I also watched that movie for $19.99. I also watched The Hunt, I believe, for $19.99. And some others. I think Arkansas I watched for $19.99. I definitely would pay it.
A lot of money.
But what I'm saying is that they should just do it that way anyways from now on. Like where it starts off $19.99, week later it's $15.99, then it's $10.99 and $5.99. I mean, that's just going to be the new model, I'd imagine, unless they're going to actually have.
I like that. Opening maybe 1 to 2 weeks, $19.99, but within a month of the original release date, you need to drop
but guys,
to $9.99.
The business model exists for a very specific reason, which is taking in $10 per person has to happen. And it's absolutely assumed for the most part. Like my $19.99 was between me and my roommate. Yours, Will, was between you and your wife's. Like, trust me, we want good movies. You got to pay.
Imagine what would happen if you couldn't pay.
I'd rather the movie industry completely collapse than pay.
What if you couldn't pay the stars $20 million a flick? I mean, my God, what would happen?
Wow. Yeah. Oh no.
What if the movie executives didn't get their bonuses? Jesus.
Yeah, it would be terrible. Disagree with you on this one, Pat.
Oh, you guys know best. It's a shitty industry.
It's funny that it's
a shitty industry you're not in. Just
needs more money. It's
support it. All right, let's go to the next one.
What's up, fellas? It's Matthew McConaughey again. Just want to say I heard my voicemail play. It's actually the second one you played, and I think in 2 weeks. Well, I appreciate y'all for that. But man, when I was listening to it, I sound like such a stoner fuck. And though that may be true, still very reflective moment to hear yourself sound like that and that not put together. So I had me thinking, what was a moment in time where you were either too fucked up by being high, drunk, or, whatever else, Pat, in public, at home, in a relationship, that you were just too fucked up and you could not deal? Give me that story. I appreciate you guys. Have a great fucking day, boys.
We don't have enough time.
Lots of them.
That's like a full weekend.
I'll just do my most recent. I pissed in the trash can New Year's Eve 2020 this year. So that was just me at home not being able to deal with finding a bathroom. So I just peed in my own kitchen trash can. So that's a recent one for you.
Understandable. Yeah. My favorite, I think I've told on the show before, but it's Columbus Day 2001, when Will and I got our eyes were a little bit bigger than our lungs. We smoked a blunt, probably the first high quality marijuana, like really high quality marijuana we ever had. And we were like, it'll be normal to just roll it into a blunt and smoke the blunt. And then Will dropped me off at my Spanish tutor. And it did not go well.
Oh, yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
That was a crazy day. I mean, the Afghan was strong. High school students, we didn't know what we were getting into.
No. We should have respected it.
Right from swag to Afghan. Yeah, no. You can, I don't really have one off the top of my head. I fell down a flight of stairs drunk once.
Same year.
Rough 2001, rough year.
Oh, man. Yeah, that was crazy. You bit like half your lip off. Almost.
Yeah, it grew back, luckily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I stuck my finger down your throat and forced you to vomit.
Thanks, buddy.
I was worried about you dying.
No, I should have probably died that night, but
I was pretty confident you were going to pull through, but Pat didn't take care of you.
I've repaid it tenfold.
Moving on.
What's up, fellas? It's your favorite Philadelphia correspondent calling in again. Cole, just to be clear, just wanted to clear up a couple of things I meant to say yesterday after the debate, which first of all was a fun fucking time. First of all, I missed a very important shout out. Shout out to all the guys from $1 Million Worth of Game. That was my fault. You guys definitely deserve a lot more credit. Fuck with your shit, very heavy. Two, gotta love waking up to a missed FaceTime call from Pat Cassidy from 1:30 in the morning Eastern time. That's that's great. Definitely a good shot to the confidence. Other than that, you guys have a full invite to come down to the link and party in the Gesture lot with all the Philly fans. If you all want to see what my point was about the other day, consider that a full invitation. Have a great fucking day.
Okay.
I'll be there, Cole. Pat, what was the phone call about?
Oh, I don't really want to talk about it.
Was it you up?
Yeah, no, I thought Cole was real cute when we saw him on the debate show. And then, no, Cole, you fucking kidding me? I pocket dialed you, you idiot. And you called and left that voicemail twice. There's 2 identical voicemails like that, Cole.
Wait a minute, you butt down Cole. Tone it down.
You're the one that caused this whole.
Now
scene.
Cole's coming at me like a psychopath, recording the same exact fucking voicemail.
You wanted
twice.
to get it right. I mean,
it was the same thing, Will. It's the same thing. It was weird.
I'm not going to the link though, by the way. And never. Why would I go? Why would I purposely go? Why would I purposely go to the link? Like, what am I going to wear an Eagles jersey? No. So I'm not going to go to the link.
Well, and Cole, to be honest with you, the reason I dialed you is because that's the type of interaction we have with our fans. And you missed the call, and that's fine. But members of the Heart of Hive, it's just the kind of guy I am, guys. Kind of guy I am. And guys, that's going to do it for Hard Factor. Thank you guys so much for listening. That was a fun week of voicemails that we didn't get to last week. So we really appreciate it. If you want to call back and leave us a voicemail, the number is 512. We'll finish it.
270-1480.
I'm going to remember it one of these days. But yeah, call. Leave us a voicemail. Make sure to give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. We will read it live on air. Give us a follow at Heart Factor Mark, at Heart Factor Pat, at Heart Factor Will, at Heart Factor Wes, at Heart Factor News. Pretty easy to remember. Radio is today at 11 a.m. Eastern. So if you got Sirius, make sure to tune into that and make sure to have a great fucking day.